welcome back to another episode of The Green Zone, the most elevated sports podcast. If you guys like what we got going on here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You know, be a friend, tell a friend, share it with someone, pass it along to them, and drop something in the comment. Give us some ideas of what you guys want us to talk about in the future, or if you guys liked what we're talking about here, let us know down there. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Now, let's get into the episode. All right, we are talking about the Texans. This one I'm excited for. Heated rivalry of my favorite, the Heritage Colts. Fuck, man. Texans coming off being the dark horse team of last year's season. CJ Stroud going 10-7, making the playoffs, getting a playoff win. Did he win? Did he win Rookie of the Year?
Of course, no doubt.
Okay, won Rookie of the Year, and then did Will Anderson ended up winning Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yep, they got it both. Same way Jesse.
They got the combo. Absolutely dominant, made up of a bunch of young guys: Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Henry To'oTo'o. Who else they got in that defense? They got a bunch of. I mean, obviously Will Anderson we mentioned. They had a bunch of other young cats.
Things that we talked about last year.
Last year. John Mechie out there fucking playing for them. They had another dude for Bama on there as a back too. They picked up him. So obviously they came out dominated, ran their way through the AFC South, beat the Colts in the last game of the year to fucking go to the playoffs. Pissed me off. We did split them though, so you know we'll see what happens. CJ's been talking a lot this offseason. I don't know if you've been seeing any of that. You've been seeing any of that on social media and shit.
I've seen him on social media, mostly on like Micah podcast, but I ain't seen him like talking like shit or like kind of talking.
Him and Zay were going back and forth, dog.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen him more just like he sound confident in himself, obviously, but it also just sound like he giving his take, so like he got an opinion, but it don't sound like he's saying I'm the best in the world and can't nobody touch me. Like I'm not.
No. Yeah. I don't know if I wouldn't call him cocky, but
right.
He borderline. He got a little cockiness to him, but you got to.
I call it confidence. You got to have confidence to be that good. Yeah. Shit, he better than Anthony Richardson. I'll tell you that. But I see that, boy. What's up now? Yeah, look, you ain't got nothing to say now.
This minute, well, I was gonna say, are you talking about right this minute? Sure, we haven't seen what Anthony Richardson can completely be, but give us a minute. I think you might see something a little different come a year or two. I'm just saying. I think the AFC South may be the new division. But you know, obviously AFC West is always gonna be the number one with Patrick Mahomes in that bitch. But I think that AFC South may be that division everyone's kind of going, oh, what the fuck?
Who's the fourth that I'm not thinking about? We got CJ, we got Trevor Lawrence, we got Anthony Richardson, and
Will Levis.
Oh hell no!
I don't know. You missed it. I already recorded the Titans episode. The Titans are giving Will Levis the keys. They have built a team to go tell him go win it for us. So who knows what a Titans could all of a sudden come out of nowhere. They could be.
I gotta see it.
Playoff team. Me too. Trust me. And I don't want to see it, but when I was doing my research on them, I was like, fuck, they got kind of good in the offseason. Like, I mean, obviously Calvin Ridley, kind of huge. They already have D-Hop.
Number 2. Is Calvin Ridley kind of huge? Did you watch last year? Did he fucking score any touchdowns? Because I drafted bro pretty high in 2 fantasy leagues.
You can say that. It's all good. You can say with the production, whenever they needed a play, he was there. Whenever they needed
the ball. He was there to drop the ball. We ain't even gonna get into that because Calvin Ridley was not Calvin Ridley last year, bro. Calvin Ridley, I don't know how he got his contract.
His first year back. It was his first year back, and I think he kind of showed out a little bit. Sure, he had some fuck-ups, but I also think they didn't have – do you think Christian Kirk is a solid number 2?
Christian Kirk played better than him. How about that?
You know?
He did. He was more productive than him, and I don't even think shit of Christian Kirk. So that should tell you what you need to know.
I think Calvin is the right – and we're not even talking Titans. I got confused for a second.
Right.
I think having D-Hop as number 2, and they had someone else. They had someone else as a 3rd, but they also still have
they got Burks, Traylon Burks, their 3rd.
Traylon Burks.
And I want to say they drafted a receiver this year. No,
I don't remember. They had someone else as a solid third. Anyways, going
like
back to this, yeah. So I think the AFC South is going to be highly competitive for the next few years, but the Texans right now are looking like the number one. Especially the way they built in this offseason. My fucking god, I didn't realize how much better they got. If you talk about free agency acquisitions, they are building that D line to come after people. They picked up Neil Hunter from the Vikings on a 1-year deal. Absolute dominant stud. Top. Would you say top 5 defensive end in the league?
no, not top 5. He's the
Top
next. He's the next
sure.
best thing that's not like elite. He's not. I'm not
Yes.
putting him up there with a Bosa or a Micah or
No.
a T. Watt. I
Agreed.
put him right under
Right there.
like the Garrett and them.
Yeah. Right underneath him. I agree. I completely agree. So top 10-ish in the league. He's very, very, very good defensive end. Danico Autry, who is also a very serviceable, good player, a little older, but a good veteran presence to have with Will Anderson. Oh my god. They got Aziz Al-Shir as a linebacker from the Titans, and then Jeff Okudah from the Falcons. So definitely built up the defense in free agency acquisitions, and then they traded for number 14. The wide receiver from the Bills, Stefan Diggs. AB, give me your thoughts on what are CJ and Stefan going to be able to do this year in the league with
I
the
got a hot
combination
take.
of Dalton Schultz and Nico Collins and Tank Dell and John Mechie the third. Go ahead, give your hot take.
I don't like the trade for Trayvon Diggs. I mean, for Stephon Diggs. I don't. I'm not like, and I don't hate it. Like, I'm not gonna come out here and be like, "Oh, dumb trade, should have never did it." I just think the team is so young and was like so ahead of their time. Just keep developing, bro. Like, I feel like Stefan now, and then with what they did in the offseason, puts the pressure on them to now automatically be a Super Bowl contender. And I don't think they're
They
ready
need to
for it.
win now.
Yeah, like now they're in win now mode. Now the team has a different attitude. Now there's a different type of pressure on them. And then I also just think Stefan Diggs comes with his own, like, I'm not saying he like a bad dude or nothing, but he just comes with his own extra media attention, extra.
Yep.
If you play a game, let's say there was a game where CJ went for 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was it, right? Nobody cared what nobody else did on the offense. We was like CJ went for 275, 3 touchdowns. Now there's going to be games where he goes for 275, 3 touchdowns, but Stefan has 3 catches for 40 yards, and that's going to be the headline at the end of the game is Stefan Diggs happy? I just think they don't need that right now because they wasn't really lacking for receivers, right? Like you said, they got Nico Collins, young dude, you got Tank Dell, who's a rookie. So I think they would have just been better off building their team. I like trades like the Daniil Hunter trade, right? Because you can't just go pick up a fucking top high level defensive lineman off the streets. But I think you can grab
Yeah.
serviceable receivers. I didn't think they needed Stefan, in my opinion. Like I said, it's not a bad move. I just think it puts unnecessary pressure on them, and it's just like it changes the conversation. Like week to week with Josh Allen, it was always, "Oh, how does Stefan feel? Does he get enough targets?" I like a guy like obviously like this was never going to happen because he's not going to double back, but a DeAndre Hopkins is a better dude for a CJ for me, right? Because DeAndre he gives you that veteran presence and leadership, but he comes with no drama, right? Like that's what I would have liked for a CJ versus Stefan's little drama that he gonna come with. Like, yes, he's gonna have those games where he go for 120, 150, and he gonna look great. But then those games where he has 70 or 60 or 40, there's gonna be that conversation of, are they using him properly? Is CJ targeting him enough? Like all of that, I just think is unnecessary bullshit that he got to deal with as a second year quarterback. Like, yes, he balled out first year, but it's always easy to do some shit when you got no expectations versus when you actually have expectations. So I just think they could have got away without trading for him. That's just my opinion on it. Like I feel like I wouldn't have done it, but we'll see how it goes. I like the team overall. Like I think they got a good mental makeup. I like their head coach, like their quarterback. So I think in all the places where there's leadership, it's the right set of leadership. But I don't know that I'm in love with that move. Like it's not because if CJ had if this was Bryce Young, I'd be like, yeah, go trade for a receiver. He needs that shit. He needs all the help he can get. Like he needs somebody to like that he can just close his eyes and throw it to. CJ was
Yeah.
out there making reads, throwing dots. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
needs a guy that he needs to like now have in his back of his head. I need to make sure he has 8 targets this game. Like I don't think that helps him, to be honest. So that's my opinion.
Good point. That's a good point. And especially given like how the other two young studs showed out last year, Nico Collins and Tank Dell. CJ's already had a comfortability with them. He has a developed chemistry with them. He's played a whole season, and he's been able to trust and rely on them. Now you have this guy who's going to expect, like you said, is going to draw a lot of attention, and you're probably going to use him as a distraction more than you build actually as a number one, and it's going to cause all this drama. I hope that happens. I hope it all falls the fuck apart as a Colts fan because fuck the Texans. But I just looked at their schedule. I pinned them at like 12 or 13 wins. They don't have for a first place division schedule. They don't have the worst schedule this next year. They have a very very hard ending. Like I have them splitting with the Colts. I have them beating Texans both times. I have them maybe or not Texans, Titans. I have them maybe beating or maybe splitting with the Jags, but like have them beating the Bears, have them beating the Bills early because Bills usually are like have slow starts. Patriots, I have them beating. I have them beating the Packers. The Jets, I have them beating. The Cowboys,
Damn,
the
you got
Titans.
them losing? Do you have them losing any games?
I have them losing to the Colts because we usually split with the Texans. I have them splitting with the Jaguars, and then I have them losing at the end. So I have them losing, or I have maybe games, big maybe games are the Lions, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and then so there's like 4 maybe games. That's what I said. Like
Put the Packers in there, bro. The Packers could beat anybody week to week, in my
yeah,
opinion.
but the Packers, like I said last year, also struggled at the beginning of the season with Jordan Love. So that could be like that's kind of where I was painting it more. It's still early-ish. Where it could still be they're still figuring shit out. I don't know, but I'm just saying like that still puts it at 11 to 14 or 11 to 13, which
Yeah.
is pretty fucking good, you know. Um,
How many
and
games did they win last year? They won by what, like 10 games, right?
they went 10-7, yeah, because they were both Colts and them were 9-6 going into the last game.
I mean, it might be unpopular opinion, but I see them doing about the same. Like I see them improving by a game, maybe. And I don't
11,
even think it's a bad thing, right? Like a lot of people gonna be like, "Oh, like you made all these offseason moves, you should win 3, 4 more games." I think they
yeah,
were so ahead of schedule, and this happens with like young teams that kind of show out. Well, it goes two ways. There's usually teams that kind of show out of nowhere, and then they take off like the old Seahawks, and then will go to the Super Bowl and whatever the case might be. And then there's a lot of teams that then start to normalize, right? Because you perform above expectations. The next year you actually got expectations. So then now you're kind of like you should be where you were the year before. So I really
yeah,
see them being in like 10, 11 games, which I don't even think is a bad season, but now everybody expects them to be a powerhouse. But I think if as long as they don't go backwards, I think it's a good season for them. Like people need to be patient. Like I don't think the expectation should be Super Bowl for a second year quarterback. Like, yeah, he balled out his first year.
I
He's still
agree.
a second quarterback, bro. Like, what's the expectation for Bryce Young? Like they came out the same year. So I would keep it smooth with them and not expect them to go to the Super Bowl, which is why I don't like the Stefan Diggs move, bro, because I really think now it's Super Bowl championship or bust, or at least like AFC championship or bust. But I just think as long as they don't go backwards, like just make sure that they make the playoffs, make sure that they serviceable, like you said. That should be a good season for them. By his third, fourth year, that's when I want to start saying, all right, like I'm expecting my dude to take me to the Super Bowl by his fourth year. By his second year, like this, he's still learning. Like, yes, he played great, but like this is the NFL, bro. Like they're gonna be on
The
his ass.
game
Tape on him.
on, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I could see that happening as well. There's a lot of like media and stuff saying that they're likely going to fall off a little bit this year. And you also have to realize like last year they had an easier schedule because they weren't very good the year before. That's why they had a second overall pick, which that's how the schedule works. Is your strength of your schedule based off how you did the year previously. So the better you did, the harder your schedule is going to be the next year. The worse you did, the easier it should be. Where this year, they have like a first place division schedule. They're playing a lot more tough teams, and their division's a lot tougher. So it's going to be an interesting. I think the AFC South is going to be probably one of the more competitive divisions. Honestly, I think every division in the AFC in general is going to be more competitive. There's probably is there AFC NFC West is probably the only real competitive division in the NFC. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so, but even then, as far as competitive, like I do think the Niners are like clearly above everybody else in that division. But we gonna see. I think there's a battle for that second team between like the Cardinals, obviously Hawks and Rams, but we gonna see how it goes.
I don't know because I feel like the Niners got a little worse.
But even them getting worse still puts them above everybody else, in my opinion. And I'm a Seahawk fan, so you already know. Like I'm not saying that happily or nothing. I mean, I still think we're gonna beat them. Like I can see us beating them twice if you ask me. But I think overall they win way more games than they will lose. So they're gonna be all right.
I don't know. Maybe think about my thing with the Rams is they lost Aaron Donald, but he also didn't rule out coming back, late. And Cooper Kupp's healthy. Matt Stafford's healthy for how long? Who knows? But Puka Nacua is healthy. Like they're healthy coming into the season. Hopefully they don't get hurt at training camp. So Matt Stafford, I told you, he's one of my top 5-ish quarterbacks, in the league. So yeah. And if you play like in your head, like realistically, this is how you try to understand playoffs. Like there is, you can go based off the whole team, but the most important thing is going to be your weapons, your quarterback, how you're operated as a team. So that's head coaching, and kind of ownership. How freely is ownership contributing? Because you look at like a team like the freaking Cowboys who are too involved, it kind of fucks them over all the time. Or you look at some teams where it's more like I'm involved, but I'm not like in it all the time, like the Chiefs, or like I don't know. Who were we talking about again? I lost my train of thought.
We talk about the Texans, but you was talking about
I know we're talking about the Texans. Who are we talking about right now?
team structure and stuff.
Yeah, so like I think you need that to. But what team was I making the example for? Rams.
Rams.
Sorry, I'm late as
I
shit.
thought we already got past the Rams. Now you confusing me and shit. But
No. I was talking about the Rams. Just like I think they're built more could have a chance to take the division this year, especially if they stay.
Take the division. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Fuck the Niners. This also is like my Bay Area. I hate Bay Area teams because the fans are just like, if they're not good, they don't care, and if they are good, they care. And it's like
they care too much. So it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Y'all need to have like a happy medium, man. All y'all Bay Area fans. I know y'all gonna come for me, but it is what it is, man. I didn't live there long enough to where I'm part of y'all, so don't come for me.
Completely. I moved up here because when did you came here when?
2015 and left 2022.
Okay, see, I came here 2014.
Yeah.
So I was around. Well, no, but like oh yeah, you're right. But because I was just thinking of college. But yeah, you're right. Overall feel the Bay Area, though. But I came here 2014, and it was right when like the Warriors started getting good, and like they won their first championship, and all of a sudden, like my first year, no one wore Warriors shit, and then my second year, everyone's a Warriors fan, and I'm just like, you guys are fake as shit, dog. Like
fake as shit, man.
If my team shit, like Lakers have been bullshit. I'm still watching them. I'm still supporting them. When like the Lakers were fucking playing with them, we had no names. We had Lance Stevenson and fucking.
Hey, that team was cold, boy. I like that team. We
fun
was
as fuck.
it was fun as fuck.
Good, we knew we weren't gonna do shit, So
Right.
it's just. But I was watching every fucking game. Will the Warriors fans be doing that? No. Like if y'all start sucking, y'all like, oh, we don't care. We don't know. I don't care anymore. We suck. Like fuck you guys. It's the same way with the Niners, dog. Like when you guys had those couple years when you weren't doing good, y'all didn't care. Y'all didn't give a shit. And then all of a sudden when you're good again, it's like, we care. We're the best. We're like, we're going to be y'all raw Niners. And everyone's wearing Niners gear. And every time I go to the gym, it's like, you guys suck. Dude.
And they always be coming up with corny ass shit like this whole bang bang Niner. Like, bro, shut that bang bang shit up. Like E40, bro. E40 is like, bro, he ain't no better than actually a fucking 40, bro. Like the actual 40. Like that shit is just like mid as fuck. Like that's E40 to me. Overrated. Like it'll get you drunk, but like mid, bro. Like I don't even know how E40 is out. Like I know Bay Area motherfuckers is coming for me after listening to this, but like, bro, E40 is what I think about the Bay. Like just yappers. All they do is talk. Like
to be fair though, like Danny technically is from the Bay, and he still thinks that fucking he hates the Niners and he hates their fans.
He a little farther out from like Bay, and you know my boy Danny, he real. So he a white dude, but if he could not be a white dude, he would be a real nigga. I'll tell you that. So he ain't fucking with. Like,
he's half Puerto Rican.
Right, he got the little curly hair or whatever he got going on. So yeah.
Yeah, his mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
His dad's white as shit though. He's Minnesota white.
He's cool though. Is that cool too? So
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Niners, shut up. Texans, honestly, like, yeah, you're right. They could be. They're touting on paper. Again, this is more of on paper. They should be in the Super Bowl, but I don't really know if they're going to turn around that way. It's going to be a fun little season. Honestly, this might be, and I keep saying this every year. Football is getting better and better and better and better. You know, you can go to any single game and you don't know you're going to win that game, and you don't know how you're going to win that game, and if you're going to win that game, it's going to be it just shit's going to happen that you just don't expect. And there's good players and teams developed everywhere. Like, there's probably what, 2 teams you could name this year that are kind of really shitty, wouldn't you say?
I mean,
Like,
yes, but even then, like, would it surprise you if the Panthers went out there and won 7 games? It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. So
no,
that's just the
not at
NFL.
second year in the league, the second year in the league as for Bryce Young and all that. Yeah, no,
Well,
I agree.
since we on that,
Uh,
bro, I want to throw out that question to you. Maybe we have this conversation, but I really don't remember. What was your take coming into the league between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud? Now that we've seen it played out, do you think Bryce Young has a chance to either catch up, be close, or is it over with? So
I
start
don't
with
think
what
it's
you
over
thought.
with. He's only 1 year. I think he still has all the potential in the world. He was not given the greatest of starts, which can fuck a lot of people's confidence up.
Yeah.
And that's tough. So it's hard to come back from. So this year will tell a lot to Bryce Young's future. He doesn't need to be great, but he showed flashes at the end. If I don't know if you were watching any Panthers games,
Yeah.
but he had flashes. Not all the time. Like, I remember against the Colts, he threw 2 pick sixes to the same fucking player. We beat them 25-9 off 2 pick sixes. I don't think we scored a single offensive touchdown just because it was just bad. But then he had a couple games where he would, like, pull it out and find a way to win. And he got hopefully they yeah, I don't know. It's
I
gonna
guess
be,
I
but
want
I
you
mean,
to compare him to.
I was not high on CJ Stroud at all.
Okay.
I was not high on CJ Stroud at all. So I did not see that coming. I can tell you that. I was higher on Bryce Young than I was CJ Stroud, but I wasn't higher on Bryce Young than I was like Anthony Richardson or there was a third quarterback or fourth quarterback last year.
Um,
Sleeper. My trip.
yeah, no, you're not
Someone
tripping.
got
After Anthony Richardson, there was a little bit of a gap, and then somebody else went. Actually, no, it really wasn't because I was high on Hendon Hooker, but he went like later, and people aren't really that high on
Hendon
him.
Hooker. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
but
I kind of thought he was a sleeper pick.
I still
Um,
think he is. But I mean,
I
Jared
do too.
Goff just got
I
all
do
that
too.
money.
Oh, and what's his face? UCLA on the Browns.
Oh, I know who you're talking about though. Jay, he got like 3, 4, 5, 6 names, so they just call him by his initials and shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I watched Dorian Thompson Robinson.
there we
Um,
go. See,
DTR.
DTR.
DTR. Yeah. I still think he has a chance to be a stud. I was higher on him than I was on CJ, but CJ surprised the fuck out of me.
No, he
Um,
did too.
and I wasn't surprised about Bryce because he's just small. I'm rooting for him because he's from Orange County. Would have played at fucking whatchamacallit, and then played at Bama. Notre Dame, or not Mater Day, then played at Bama. So, don't like Mater Day, but cool from kind of the same roots. Wanted to see him excel, but he's too small. That's tough.
I still think it's system with him, bro. Like, I mean, clearly I've been totally wrong because I thought it was clearly Bryce Young and then everybody else. Like, I thought CJ was like a close second.
Yeah.
Um, but clearly, like, CJ proved me wrong. Like, I want to say, like, halfway through the season, I still was holding on for dear life. I was like, nah, Bryce Young just in a bad situation. And then they actually played each other when the Panthers had played the Texans, and the Panthers actually won. They both had bad games, but the Panthers actually won. So I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like, oh, you see, like, Bryce Young could actually win a game. But, like, when everything played out, like, I really looked at it like CJ didn't really have a squad like that. Like, yes, at the end of the day, we seen the production, but, like, his defense wasn't great coming in. Like, they had solid players, offense, solid players, like, new head
Mhm.
coach, and he just straight balled, bro. So, like, at this
Yeah,
point, like, I got to give him his props. I don't think
definitely.
Bryce Young is ever gonna catch up to him, but I don't think it's because Bryce Young isn't good enough. I just think he just got too much of a ladder to climb up. Like it's just like now the gap because I don't think Bryce Young is gonna have a good season this year. I think he has maybe a D. He improves, but he might not have a good season until his third year. By then, CJ might be in the MVP conversation. So like I don't see Bryce Young catching up like no time soon. So we're gonna see how it goes. But I was really high on him. I mean, I thought he was gonna be that dude because like he can read defensive. He was like pretty athletic enough. Like yes, he was small, but I don't know in today's league, I don't know, size doesn't matter as much in my opinion because you're not even allowed to tackle these dudes.
I think it matters. No, I think the height matters because he can't really see over the line even when they're squatting.
That's overrated, bro. That whole scene of like Drew Brees played for how many years, and then you have a Brock Osweiler who's fucking 6'7" and couldn't fucking read defenses. So I think it's really just can you play or not? Because there's Kyler Murray who does play from outside the pocket, but he's able to throw in the pocket. He's not that tall. Russell Wilson was never that tall. So I don't think height, like I think it's one of those things that like they throw around the combine, like small hands, like, oh, he got small hands, he can't throw, or he got big hands, this is great. But
he's shorter than both them fools. Isn't how Drew Brees is like 6'1"?
No, Drew Brees is like 6 feet on paper, but he probably like really 5'11", and I think Bryce Young is about the same. He's probably 5'11".
He's 5'10".
He was not 5'10".
On paper, I'm pretty sure.
Bryce Young was 5'10" on paper. Look that shit up because if he's 5'10" on paper, that means he's like really like 5'8".
Yeah,
that's which makes it even more impressive that he's was as good as he was in college. Let's see how tall he is.
He's not tall. Yeah, 5'10", 5'10", 204.
Bro, that's okay. That's I ain't gonna lie. I ain't that. God damn.
Yeah, he's tiny, dog. He's not big. He's not big. That's why I'm.
He for sure ain't catching up to CJ, bro. Like that shit is over with. Like not I know damn 5'10", 204, and that 204 was after he ate for the combine. Like motherfucker probably walks around at like 190 something.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm 6'2", 207. So
you ain't doing shit in the NFL. So I don't know how you supposed to do it at 5'10".
I look way bigger than him at 207, 2 inches. I look way bigger than he does. Like if you put us up to next to each other, you'd be like, oh damn, that dude's way bigger than him. And technically, I'm only 4 or 3 pounds. Like nah, bro, you ain't that. You might be 160 if you lucky, soaking wet. God. I'm looking at Drew Brees too because I was curious because I thought they built him. Yeah, he right 6.
He's about 6 feet, but I don't even really think he was 6 feet. There's Baker Mayfield. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are not tall. I just think it's can you maneuver the pocket, which I think he has great pocket presence. Bro just needs like a O-line and some receivers. Like he has nothing. Like he has no O-line, no receivers. Like he's just in a bad situation.
Okay, question: Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson? Who are you taking right now?
I'm taking Anthony Richardson for the reasons we just talked about, as far as like not only what's around him, but like yes, I guess if we look at durability, technically Bryce Young has been more durable, but he has been, bro. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 year. One guy missed 75% of the season. The other guy missed a couple games. So as far as being objective, he's been more durable. But I do think long term, though, I think Anthony Richardson, as soon as he learns that he's not a running back and he actually needs to get down when it's time to get tackled, I think he got like a better chance to succeed just because he got so much tools that he got raw tools to where Bryce Young is very cerebral already. So like he can only get so much better. Like, yes, obviously he's in NFL now, so his brain is gonna catch up and like get better. But it's like he not getting like Anthony Richardson don't even have to use his brain yet. Of course he uses his brain. Like I'm exaggerating, but he don't even have to yet, to where in like year 4, when he actually starts thinking the game and not just relying on his athleticism, he got like another leap to take. Where Bryce Young, I feel like he's just gonna take like slow progress and he's not gonna like really shoot up. Like, so we're gonna see.
Yeah. I think that what honestly kind of, I think you missed a point there where I think that's what kind of puts Anthony Richardson in a notch above Bryce Young, because if you just put like athleticism,
I just literally said that.
No. Hold on. You missed it because you didn't miss it in a bad way. Like you like, let me explain, and then I'll explain. Like you were saying how like, because like if you put the cerebral side of Bryce Young and the athleticism of Anthony Richardson, okay, that cancels each other out. But I think that cerebral side of Anthony Richardson is what's set. Like we were, I didn't even think he had like the level. If you would have watched, like, if you go back and watch the Colts offense that he was running in the fucking week 1 to 4, you're kind of like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck are you running shit? Like, the schemes were quite complicated. I was flabbergasted. But the thing is with Bryce Young is I think I think he can make up more on that athletic side that we're not seeing because of his height, because he can move. Like, he didn't do it a ton at Bama, but he can. And he can get out of the pocket, and he's shifty, and he can scramble. So I think if he utilizes that a lot more, it could change his game. Just if he could play more like a now how Lamar Jackson plays. Not obviously he's not as fast and can't do the same thing, but like voiding the hits, but getting down the field and getting that extra little yardage at times, with making him more of a dynamic quarterback. And like you said, rolling out of the pocket, getting that more open, freeing up space for him to see downfield and make plays. Fuck, dude. I give him a solid offensive coordinator too. Bryce Young has the potential where he could go far. He could be, a top half quarterback in the league, wouldn't you say? Potentially.
I mean, that's just very low expectation, bro. That don't even sound good. Like, give him a little, because if I draft you number 1 overall to be a top half quarterback, like shit, like he better be a top
That's
6 quarterback
level.
Huh?
You think he has the potential to be a top 6 quarterback? You got guys like Josh Allen who are going to be in the league for a long time. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, C.J. Stroud, AR. I guess
Burrow, bro. You gotta. I don't think he has the potential to be top 6. Not in his career. There's too many dudes that's ahead of him that's not that much older than him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, top half is top 15 technically.
Right. Which 16. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that's not great for a number 1 overall pick. I would hope that you can be fucking at least top 15. Like, I'm thinking you should be 6.
Johnny Manziel.
I mean, Johnny Manziel went 20 something, so he wasn't number 1 overall.
Wasn't he number 2?
Hell no. Johnny Manziel went like 20 something to the Browns.
He did? I thought it was way earlier than that. Okay,
I mean, he just had that hype and then won the Heisman, and then like he kind of fell off the season after the Heisman, and people knew that he was more of like a college great than he would be in the NFL. Where I'm getting attacked by Lambo right now, but yeah, Johnny didn't go up that high. Wait, what's up? You want to say what's up to the podcast? Say what's up to the pod.
Saying what's good, Lambo?
My name Lambo. Look at the camera.
My name Lambo. How old is he now?
About a year and like 2 months.
He's how many months?
A year and 2 months, so like 14 months.
A year and 2 months. Damn.
Damn,
that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. He's gonna be fucking. Next thing you know, he'll just be an old ass man chilling out with you.
Shit, we already old ass chilling in the house, but yeah, I mean, my overall take on the Texans is I really like the team. I do think they need to slow down expectations, because I just feel like any team the media hops on never pans out. Like, it almost never happens. Like, the only team I see that the media hopped on and panned out was the Lions, because low key after the last season, like the season before last, and then like everybody was kind of on the Lions hype train and they actually delivered. But that usually doesn't happen. Usually, like when everybody hops on the team, they kind of take that step back. So I expect them to be about the same, but I don't know. I like the Texans, but that's my overall team. They can be decent.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't got much else to say about the Texans. I just think that division overall is going to be insanely competitive this year. I even think the Titans will compete. They always find a way to new coach Brian Callahan, but it'll be fun to see. Any other last thoughts on the Texans? C.J. Stroud, the boys, Stefan Diggs.
I like them boys, man. I like CJ. I'm a big fan of D'Amico. Like, really, because D'Amico was probably the first head coach that I watched play. Like, I for real watched him play with the Eagles, like as a linebacker, and I liked him. Like, play with him on Madden and all that shit. So it's kind of surreal to see him be a head coach and like make it work. Plus, he black, so I ain't gonna hide that. So I ain't gonna say he real black, but he real black. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping it all pans out for him.
I feel like a lot of coaches who are black in the NFL got a little bit more, like, like realness to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tomlin. You look at like what's
I
his name?
guess
Not Florida.
I think of it as a lot of them guys are older guys, like a Levy Smith before
Ah,
he got
yeah,
fired. Yeah, like a
yeah. Good point.
Jim Caldwell, or like a Hugh Jackson. I think of them as like kind of old school. He's the
He's newer.
first. He's the first guy that was just playing. Like I said, he was playing 6, 7, 8 years ago. It wasn't that long ago he was playing in the league. So
Him and Mayo. You know,
and yeah,
kind of.
Mayo is like the second of those who you don't
Yeah.
give a fuck about and you don't like. You think he gonna win no games this year, but
No.
I'm rooting for him too. I hope he win a couple games.
I mean, I'll never root for the Patriots. Yeah, we'll see. I think he's definitely shown that he's gonna be he's a young coaching talent in the league. He's likely gonna be here for a long time, and it'll be cool to see him kind of be the new face of that change in guard in the NFL, which is necessary. Texans, good luck this year. Fuck you. I hope you lose. Guys, if you like this content, please consider liking, subscribing, hit that notification bell. AB, appreciate you joining again, my man. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.